Suddenly in our society, Facebook and Twitter appeared on the internet. After that, many people started to use them and call them social networks. Today, I'd like to tell you about these things by comparing with each thing. First of all, both of them are social networks and media. What does social network mean? Do you know? Nobody. Social network is a service where we can be in a relationship with various people on the internet. And then we can also form network, our own network. I can't understand. by the system and making relationships on them.
Ignore that.
Yeah. It can become a kind of trend in our life. Before I tell you about the differences, I want to explain about basic principle in using them. So, Facebook and Twitter. So, on Facebook, if a person asks the friend, ask for being a friend to be, and then if the B person doesn't accept the request, it couldn't be it can't become a relationship. And if the B person accept the request, they can be a friend, and then they can share information. But on Twitter, if a person on Twitter is the simple than Facebook. If a person just follow B person, it is fine. It's fine. And if B person doesn't want to do that, but it's no choice because A person follow B person, and then B person can follow other person C person, and then it can be more bigger and bigger than Facebook. Facebook is just small relationship than Twitter, but Twitter is the huge network system. So, on the other hand, they have a few differences. First, on Twitter, the biggest feature is the swift propagation velocity. It means it spread quickly. The information spread quickly. And the wide propagation scale, because they make organization by just following somebody, so it is able to spread information geometrically, so bigger and bigger and more quickly. In other words, it can spread urgent content or information rapidly. So it has a function of messenger breaking news on the internet. For this reason, Twitter is usually used officially or in public. However, for this reason, the following to other person one-sidedly, it has a small problem. If you become a follower on other person, you can see the information on his or her Twitter without his or her acceptance. Are you with me?
Yeah.
And it means it is unsuitable to talk about private thing with you guys' friend. And because we can make a relationship with many and unspecified people. And other feature is it has a strong volatility. Do you know volatility? The vocabulary. It means like to disappear quickly. So it is difficult to find previous information, and it is not common to search it again on Twitter. So Twitter also has no way to save information, so that's why it has a strong volatility. And the final thing is Twitter has a peak time. Many people use Twitter in their spare time at lunch or before quitting time at their job. What I mean is the user use specific time only. On the weekend, the number of users is decreased significantly. However, the Facebook is different from Twitter. Facebook has a lot of users who are experts like doctors, professors, or lawyers, etc. So they form groups of experts, and they usually spend time on Facebook to share their information with other people. Second, as I said before, Twitter has a strong volatility, but Facebook has strong stickiness. So do you know the word sticky? So stickiness is like it's a noun of sticky, and it means like a more harder relationship than Twitter. So most
harder or just
more
stronger.
Yeah. Most of the users on Facebook read the information calmly, and the reaction is also serious. Besides, the number of friends and the scale of it is not big compared to Twitter. It's just small networking than Twitter. The reason is the Facebook has a reciprocal action, as we learned yesterday. Reciprocal action.
Reciprocal
action. So if I ask on other people to be a friend, the first person who got asked has to accept my request, and we can be friends with each other. That's why it is suitable to talk about private things with friends. Second, Facebook seems to be for groups that can talk with friends about their interests, not swift information. So Twitter is in public or officially they are interested in official information, but Twitter is just private information. They are interested in talking.
Facebook is.
Yeah.